with us.
All right. I'm gonna the voice of the youth, and poetry is beyond just a hobby. It's beyond just something that we do in our free time. It's a way for us to connect to people in a way that like comes from the soul. It comes from the heart. And I think that everyone here can agree with the fact that poetry is a language, it's a voice, it's a speech.
I've heard, in class, I've done poetry units in literature classes, and I always hear things from classmates like, no one cares about poetry anymore, it's useless, it's like, why even bother? But I think poetry is one of those art forms that is it's timeless. Like, poetry isn't just written word. Being here up with them and spending time with them, to me, I think is poetry. But I think with like what's going on in the world, it's so important that we have different poets, different styles, and it's good to have, just to hear so many voices so we can like know about what's going on in the world. It's a really good art form, and I'm really glad that I am able to speak in front of you and also have these lovely people
listen as well. Like, you use that language and that voice and that speech to empower others, and it's just like, speaking, writing a speech and speaking out at different events, just more like artistically and poetically. So it's an art form of activism. It's a way to speak up and use your own personal thoughts against different things to speak out, because you can't really tell someone when they're reading a poem, actually no, that's wrong. So it's your own personal, it's your words, it's what you think of, and it's what you perform, and it does inspire change. Poetry does inspire change. Like Amanda Gordon speaking at the inauguration was amazing. It's really powerful, and it's a very powerful form of activism.
So me as an 18-year-old girl, poetry is very, I think, transformative in my life. I started when I was very young. Like a lot of poets, when they answer this question, they always say like, oh, like, yeah, I would write poetry to express my feelings, and I didn't even know that I was doing that, So I really feel like we all kind of use it as a way to express ourselves in a way we couldn't, whether it be verbally, emotionally, we can't really express ourselves, so we do it through writing. That's what a lot of poets do. I can say for myself, I was a very vocal kid, but vocal about the wrong things. So I would use poetry to kind of convey my emotions. Like, I remember whenever I would get in trouble with my mom, I'd write her an I'm sorry note. So I definitely used it to like share my emotions and to share my thoughts and views about the world. So yes. Because I was in the Oakland Public School system, and like a very nerdy, poetic, emotional kid. And so I remember a boy coming up to me, and I was like writing in my journal, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Like, and he looked over my shoulder and he was like, do you think you're a writer or something? And I said, yes, I am a writer. And that was the moment I claimed it,
Yeah.